The sweet, sweet memories you gave of me. You can't beat the memories you gave of me.
In the fall of 2001, my cousin Alicia and I interviewed our grandfather, Ambrose Joseph Bensavengo, also known as Brasil. He was 92 years young. Throughout the years, he would tell us stories about his life experiences as if he was reliving them. He knew a heck of a lot of people and could instantly recall names, dates, and times. He was sharp as a tack. These are his stories, his life. This is 3 Days with Brasil.
Look, everything that comes out of my mouth is reality. I know what I'm talking about.
When and where were you born?
Trenton, New Jersey, 216 Elmer Street, 1909. My father was named Ralph, and my mother, my first mother, was Madeline. Well, they come from Naples.
Both of them came from Naples?
They're Napolitans, you know. She was 39, going on 40 when she died, 1918, during the flu epidemic. And she was a pretty woman.
Yeah. This was your real mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother was named Tom, Nello, me. Two Johns, Louis, we call him Chappie, and Frank, and the baby, Rafe. My father bought a house at 411. Not long after, that's when the flu epidemic came. And she was one of the unfortunate one that died, and my father was in bed upstairs when it happened. And the funny part about it, when we had the funeral, we walked from the house to the church on Butler Street, horse and wagon.
Really? Wow.
It was really,
Wow.
you know, and we were all kids. And maybe about 5, 6 months later, maybe a year, I don't know, I think it is, that he went to Italy, came back with a wife. In the meantime, they sent 3 of us to the orphanage in Hopewell. I was there for 2.5 years.
Wow.
Us 3. It was me, Chappie, and me, Chappie, and Frank. And we had a ball there.
You did? You were running wild?
Well, one instance I can remember, Frankie, he was the youngest. And I used to, we were always together, like. So this one day, I told Chappie, I said, where the hell is Frankie? He said, let's go inside. So we went inside, it was a cold day. We were near a bonfire getting warm. I'll never forget it, 9-year-old. And Frankie was about, let's see, 9. He was about 4 or 5-year-old. Yeah, just about school time. So anyway, we went there, and the sister had him over her lap, hitting him over the bare cool with a strap. I run over her and I grabbed the strap off her, and I threw it on the bonfire. I went out and I threw it on the bonfire. And she says, I'm gonna report you. I said, you would do that. And they reported me. I'm too violent. That's what they said. And our guy, they used to take care of us, you know, played games and stuff like that. His name was Mr. Doherty. I'll never forget it. And he said, "What's the matter?" And I told him. He said, "Well, that won't happen no more around here." And he gave the sister hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, we were there a couple of years, and then we come back home. Well, in the meantime, when he come back, my father got married and bore 2 more children, Jerry and Albert.
Oh, okay. I
Jerry
didn't know that.
Jerry was killed in an automobile accident back in 1940. He was only maybe 19, 20-year-old.
Oh, okay. And then you came home to your stepmom.
Yeah.
She was nice woman.
Well, to me, she was great, but me, I couldn't see it, a stepmother. You know, then it was getting. Now I'm about 12-year-old now,
Right.
12, 13. Then I couldn't see it, so I went to Centennial School, and we used to go. All of us were always on our own.
Right. You were a grown man at 12, right?
But it was hard to
Oh, yeah.
explain it because a mother's a mother.
Yeah.
But in time to come, I realized it, how good she was to raise 9 boys. We had a ball.
You did?
It's funny. It don't happen anymore. I don't think so. At that time, every Sunday, I used to have a cousin of mine, Tommy. He used to come in. The doors were always open. He used to come in the house, wake me up on a Sunday, tickle my underneath the feet, and we used to spend. And like, his family would be over my house, or my house would be over his. Things like that. We used to go, all uncles. Every week we'd go different. When I was 14, I had to quit school and go to work. It was a law. I mean, they could have done it. So I did that. And I got a job. My first job was $9.60 cash in an envelope.
And what were you doing? What kind of job was it?
I worked in a silk mill, Mollison's silk mill, making $9 a week. And I used to keep the 60. I used to take the 60 cents, and my father
Took the 9?
took the 9. When I got about 16, 17, I got a job with the public service. Me, my brother Noah, my brother Tommy. I used to go to work with him, making 50 cents an hour. And it started getting better.
Yeah.
So I was getting to be about 17, and I wanted to suit of clothes. My father wouldn't give me the money. Just give me the change, whatever. So Tommy says, the next pay you get, don't give it to Pop. Me, you, and Nella will go uptown. And we went uptown. I spent the whole check. I bought 2 suits, 2 pair of shoes, 2 of everything. Shirts, ties, and I look handsome to go to dances and all.
Is that what you did for fun? You went to dances and stuff?
Yeah, well, it was 3 times a week. They used to have a Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wow.
And I loved the.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah, no, not in the neighborhood.
Where was it?
In town. At the Roseland. They had the Blizzard. They called it Roseland, and around the Berg, one place. It used to be mostly St. Joachim's Hall. And we used to get a kick out of that. And I was always the best dresser around. So every time I needed a suit, I did it for about 2 years. Every time I needed clothes, well, when my father was getting generous, he was giving me $1 pay out of my pay. Big time Harry.
Yeah.
So, and we did it again. About 2 or 3 years later, I wanted another suit and stuff like that. And then after we did it, my father said, "Where's the check? I mean, where's the money?" It was always cash.
Yeah.
I said, "Pop, I have to buy clothes. You got clothes to wear?" He said, "Yeah." "Well, I need them. I go dances. Hey, what's the towels on? You have to go to that in Italian."
Right.
He used to swear in Italian.
Yeah.
He says, "That comes first." And I said, "Well, that's the way it is." So we got laid off from public service. And I couldn't find a job. So one day I just, on my own, I said, I gotta find out where Nello's at. But I really missed him. And I told Tommy, I says, "Tom, where is he?" I said, "I don't know." So finally I found him. He lived at 229 Warren Street. He had an apartment, him and another guy. So one day I knocked on the door. That's when I left the house. I went over his place, I knocked on the door. He said, "What do you want? What are you doing?" I said, "I left the house. I can't take it, I can't find a job." He said, "You sleep here, but you're going back home tomorrow." I said, "I don't think I am." He said, "You know what I'll do to you?" He was son of a gun. He was trying to get me to go back, but I wouldn't. So he gave me a smack across the face, my nose bled.
Jeez.
I says, "You know, no. Anybody else did that, I'd go at him." He said, "I know you would, but you can't go back on your older brother." He was trying to teach me something, and he knew I was right, but I didn't hold him for it. I met my cousin Bluebeard, Joe Radis, we call it. That's my cousin. And I met him, and I says, "Hey, we're hanging around a station." So we get a room. "Oh yeah, we got a job." But where was it at? From Mollison Silk Mill. I got a job when I was younger, my first job, and then we went to Strasser Silk Mill, where the doll factory was,
Okay.
and we got a job there. And we stood there for a while, making about $20 a week from $9, big deal. And we got a room right around the station, $3 a week, right in the hotel. And that's where we used to live there. And we had a ball. And that was my hangout until I got married. Me, Joe Radis, Spike Petrine, and Joe the Mole, we practically ran that station. We were rugged, them days you didn't know any better. And that's what we did for a while. And I said to myself one day, I was sleeping, I says, "This is a hell of a life. There's no future for me." Now I'm getting in the 20s. So finally, guy come up to me and says, "We got to fight for you. You can use your dukes." I says, "No, not me. I says, I never had boxing gloves on. He said, well, you can make money. I said, I don't want it. So I didn't go in the ring. But I always
Why
had,
did you say no?
because I didn't think it was right to be a boxer.
Okay.
You got to be training all the time, and I don't want to train. So finally, me, two other guys in the Berg, we went to Long Branch. We got a job in the hotel. The name of the hotel was, right now I can't even think about it. Well, anyway, it was opposite, just they had a pier there, opposite there, and they had an arena there, a boxing ring, Hotel Riviera. So we were living there for, three of us got a job, and I stood there because I liked the job, making $40 a month, and eat and sleep. And I used to, walk across, you're in a beach. And I love swimming, especially in the summer. So one day, I'm just having supper. A guy by the name of Bushy Brooks, another cousin. His name was Radis, Gerard Radis. And he was a boxer, shorter than me. And I weighed about 138, 140 pounds stripped. Because when they weighed me for the fight, that's how much I weighed. And the guy I was fighting, young Terry, he went on to fight. He made the book of records that he fought 5 guys that turned out to be world champion.
Oh, yeah?
And he never became champ, young Terry. And I had the distinction of fighting him. But to get to that, Bushy came in the hotel, and I was just eating spaghetti with lobsters, with the lobster sauce.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Because the chef, every Friday night, used to call me, hey, Brazel, I got it ready. And I see Bushy come in there. Hey, what are you doing here? You know, good to see guys from Trenton. And he come in. I got a chance. You got a chance to make $25. $25. Who do you want me to kill? 25. He said, no. He said it's going to be all fixed up. He said you're going to go in the ring. And he ain't going to hurt you. I said okay. Make sure he don't. He said, hey, I'm green. I don't know nothing about boxing.
Right.
Don't worry about it. You just stick your hand, jab out, and they're like. So I used to go around gyms a lot, but I never trained or anything for a fight. And I went in the ring. Alicia, believe me when I tell you, 3 minutes the first round looks like it was eternity. I was tired, knocked out.
You
Every
never
time-
trained for a fight before.
Never.
Right.
Right? So it came to every time he used to hit me, he used to go for the stomach. And I used to grab him in a clinch. I says, hey, buddy. I says, take it easy. He didn't know nothing about it. Well, he was green. It was about 14, 15 fights that he had. They were building them up.
Right.
They called him young Terry Trenton's buzzsaw. Oh, he was son of a gun. He got me to, well, I lasted the first round. I told Bushy, I said, he's killing me. Second round, about the latter part of the round, about another half a minute to go, he got me in there and he started throwing them punches in my stomach. And finally I said, hey, what goes on? And I'm getting on like on one knee and I'm spewing blood. I thought it was blood.
I know what
It was the lobster sauce. But I didn't know it until
Did you
then.
scare him? Did he think he was like killing you or something?
Yeah. Well, this was the second round. I went 2 rounds already. And I didn't think I'd last 2 rounds. Bushy Brooks. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell you. I didn't have a jock strap on.
Oh no. Oh God.
Right? But it's a good thing I never got hit below. So anyway, I come out in the 3rd round. I said, son of a bitch, to myself. I said, I'm going to throw a right hand. I'm going to see what happens. About half of the round, I threw a right hand. It just connected him on the bridge of his nose. Looks like I broke his nose. Blood comes squirting all over me, all over my.
Between
And I had
lobster sauce and the blood.
And I had white trunks on, they full of blood. When I came down with my right hand, I couldn't raise it up no more. I got on my knees. When I went down, my calves, they tightened up. I couldn't get up. So Bushy says, get up, get up. I can't move. I'm mad at him. So the round ended, and that was it. I didn't want to fight no more. Call it off. Now, when I got paid, out of the $25, I got 4.
Why?
2 seconds when he come out, they robbed me. That's what it was all. That's what it was all about. 2 seconds. I didn't have no seconds. Equipment. I didn't get what the hell equipment I get. You know.
He took advantage of you.
Yeah. Well, they did it to everybody.
Yeah.
So that was. Then I thought about. Well, then I used to go around to gyms later on when I came back to Trenton. I stopped mucking around in gyms and I used to hit the bag a little bit, and I got to know a little bit. And I had about 3 or 4 more fights. And I won all 3 of them.
You did?
Yeah. And that was the end of that.
Did you ever
I
knock
quit.
anybody out?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
But I hit him like if a baby hit a guy, he just touched it. That's why I hit that color guy.
He
Yeah,
went down.
cauliflower. I don't know why he went down. He didn't even, I just hit him in the chin and he went down. It wasn't that hard. I said, well, just now I got a punch now. So,
Hey, Graham, talk about Johnny Beans. Didn't they call
Yeah,
you?
how'd you get the name Johnny Beans?
oh, Bushy Brooks.
Oh.
He said, we'll call you Johnny Beans.
Oh, for that fight that
Yeah.
set you up?
And I went on for that.
Okay.
And then Ollie Cohn, another manager, he got me to fight this color guy in New Haven, Connecticut. They gave me the money to go to New York. From New York, I got to meet a guy, and they drive right into New Haven. It was an afternoon fight on a holiday. I fought this color guy. I don't know his name.
The one you knocked out, you're talking
Yeah.
about?
And you know, altogether, I had about 3 or 4 fights, and I said, that's it for me.
That's it? You didn't like it?
I couldn't make no money.
Right.
That fight I got, $25, it was mine. It was all right. But I don't know what he got, the manager. They gave me all expenses. And they bought all the equipment. One time he came, the same manager, Ollie Coney, says, I got a job. You go back to Long Branch if you want to fight. No, I says, I'm done. Forget about it. And then later on, about a year later, it's when I started going with Grandma.
So how old were you when you met Grandma?
Well, I was about 22 23. 23.
And where?
Nice looking young fella.
Yes. And where did you meet her?
In a store. I went there one day to buy ice cream. And when I say, pretty little thing, I said, what are you doing here? And
In her store, her father's?
Her father's store.
Okay.
They had an ice cream store,
Yeah.
confectionery store, candy store.
So you came in there to buy something.
And when I went in there, and she looked at me. I'm looking at her. Hey. I says, you got nice little red cheeks or something, you know. He says, yeah. And she says, and then she told me, she says, I heard you go to dances a lot. I said, yeah, I go like every Wednesday, Thursday, Saturdays. You meet a lot of girls? I says, oh yeah, you meet a lot of girls. Not as pretty as you. You know, she was petite.
Yeah.
It's pretty. And, so finally I says, to one day I went in there to buy ice cream or candy. I says, how about if I take you out some night? Go out and maybe I'll show you, you know, places and nobody had a car.
Right.
We used to walk, go to movies or something. She says, when? I says, not anytime, whenever you want it. So finally, she came up to me, she says, we'll go out tomorrow night. I said, okay. She didn't want her mother and father to hear. So I had to meet her around the corner, on Butler and Chestnut, the next street. And she used to walk there. So we went and we walked. We walked all around the park, Chestnut Park. It used to be the deaf and mute school.
Columbus Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I walked all around there and we wind up to the BB Theater, right on where the Mayfair Cleaners is on Chestnut Avenue.
Okay.
I used to be a theater, and we went there to go see a show. And I said, are you satisfied? I mean, I didn't get tough, I didn't get funny with you. She says, no, well, you're supposed to get funny with me? She told me that. And no. We got back near Columbus Park, and we walked around there, we sat down on one of the benches, and I said, I'm gonna give you a good kiss. She says, oh, no, you're not. Yes, I am. And we were kidding like that. So finally I kissed her. I said, hey, did I hurt you? She says, no. And I took her home. So then I says, she was going to Trenton High. I said, what time do you go to school? He said, I leave here about 8:30. I said, well, I'm going to walk you to school. I never had, nobody had a car then.
She says he followed her to school.
Huh?
There's a difference.
What's
She
that?
said you were following her around.
Yes, that's what she's full of shit. Well, I never followed her
All
around.
right. All right.
She was following me, you know.
No.
I'll tell you why. You know what happened? I'm at the dance hall. St. Mary's Greek. They had a dance. I was over there. Aversano girl, she used to go on with them. They're jealous people. I would never dance with them because they thought they're shit and I hate to say that.
That's not.
Well, anyway, they were always thought they were better than one another, but they weren't. And they told her that, hey, that Brazel, I know he goes with you, and he goes to dances. He's got all the girls there, a lot of girls. I never went out with girls, you know, dance with them, because I had no car, nothing. So I got licensed in the meantime. They got me licensed, but my brother Tommy had a car. He bought a car. So one night I asked him, I said, Tom, how about lending me the car tonight? I want to take my girl, then I called her my girl, Caroline. I want to take Caroline to a show. No station, don't hang around a station with it. I said, no. And he did. And I never did that. And I picked her up, went to the Broad Theater, sat in the car, kissed her, hugged her, took her. And it went on for until we got married. 1936, I got sick to my stomach, ulcers. At that time, when I got sick, I lived on Tyler Street. And I worked on a railroad at the time. One night I called up my brother Nello. I said, Nello, I can't take it. He said, what's the matter? I said, my stomach is killing me. So he got me and he took me to St. Francis Hospital. And they had to operate on me. And I had the operation. They gave me my last rites. I called double pneumonia, 1936.
Oh my God.
And I used to smoke Chesterfield cigarettes. And the doctor that operated on me, his name was Dr. Sica, S-I-C-A. He performed an operation that it's all unheard of. After I found out, years later, 1968, I had a stomach that I couldn't pass food, and I had another operation. And the doctor that operated on me, Dr. Arenas, in the meantime, Sika died. Dr. Sika, when he discharged me, he says, you're in tip-top shape. Do anything you want. Whenever it's something you eat, don't agree with you, don't eat it. And always get up off the table hungry. Never stuff your stomach.
Right.
I said, okay, Doc. And as I'm going out, I asked him, I said, Doc, one more question. You okay? I says, how about smoking part? I didn't know you smoked. You smoke? That's a no-no. I says, why? You smoke. I seen you smoke. I can't get away from it. And he said, cigarettes, he said, cigarettes is no good for nobody, not even me. I says, okay.
No back then.
Well, I think I told him. I says, okay, Doc, I'll take your word. I haven't smoked a cigarette since. But that ought to be a lesson to the people today. Now they advertise it on a pack. They know it's no good for you. Well, the Dr. Sika, he said, is this your girl? He says, yeah. How long you been going? I said, oh, about 3 years. He says, you know something? I think you should marry her. That's the best medicine in the world. That's what he told me. He says, because he knew I lived in a room. He said, who's going to take care of you?
So she was right.
That's the truth. So when I come out of the hospital, when they discharged me, I went over to my brother Tommy's house. Tommy says, you're coming here, right? And they took care of me until I recuperated to go back to work on the railroad. This was like in June I got operated on, July, August. That's when I proposed, in August. I said, let's get married. You heard what Dr. Seeker said? She says, yeah. He's, what am I going to do? I said, well, I'll tell your father and mother. You know, they know we're going together. So one day I went in there, I said, hey, Gus. His name was Gus, my father-in-law. And I says, you know, I go with Caroline. She said, yeah, we're going to get married. He says, well, you get married, it's one less mouth I have to feed.
Oh, no.
That's the way it was them days. And so we set a date for September 26th. That's the only time we could have got it. Now, after we set the date, I'm looking for a hall. We got the hall. My brother-in-law, Joe Toots, married my sister-in-law. Her sister, Rosie, was going to be my brother-in-law. His brother had a studio on State Street, across from telephone office, upstairs. The Toots studio. They gave me the hall for nothing. So we had there. Then we had a band for the reception. We used to call them Gabadon. Them big heels. We named the guy that was there, his name was Gabadon. And he had a 5-piece band. And they were good. Got them for nothing. Now, we had to go to church, do all the stuff we went through that. And we had it set for 26th of September. We got married, and I had 2 railroad passes in my pocket. I says, if we make enough of money, collect enough of money, we'll go to Niagara Falls. I got a pass for Buffalo and a pass for New York. I said, if we don't make enough, we'll go to New York. They're nearby. So we got, and I just got on a train. We went to Buffalo. I said, we're going to go to Niagara Falls. I said, I don't care how much money. So I had a few bucks, like I had about $50, $60 in my pocket. It was mine. I saved up. And I always had that on a hand all the time. Well, when we got on, we had a lower berth on a train, sleeping. There was somebody sleeping up over. And we had the lower berth. It was good. Because I rated pretty good with the railroad, and they got me the best. So now we're counting the envelopes on the train. We got $95 collected. And I said, well, we got enough to go to Niagara. The one envelope I wouldn't open was the one her mother and father gave.
Oh, I know about this.
I said, I ain't gonna open that. And I ain't gonna.
Why, you're thinking there's a
Supposed to be $100.
right.
Everybody, like, even my brother Frankie, $5. He was only a kid,
Right.
you know. And it was tough for money, but I was satisfied. I don't know, whatever you give, you give. And I'm still that same way today. So then we went there. When we got there in Buffalo, rain. Then we got the hotel. When you get off the train to Buffalo, you have to get a cab. It's about 3 miles to get into Buffalo. You know, it's like on the outskirts. We got there, we got a hotel. Hotel, I think, was for the week, $21, $3 or no, yeah, $18, $3 a night. Had it for 6 days. Yeah, I paid cash. It was all right. We got married on a Saturday. We got there Sunday morning. Sunday was raining. Tuesday was raining. Nice 3 days we got. So in the nighttime we used to get out and go to movies. You couldn't walk. Rain like hell. I bought an umbrella to keep my bride dry. Yep. We stood there about 4 days, and let's go back home. Getting miserable, cold weather in September, rain every day. But we went to Niagara Falls, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
After the 4th day we went, we got on it. Oh, this is what you got to hear. We gets a taxi cab, and they had another couple. They can't only go unless they get 4 in a cab, right? You got to go over to Canada. We went over the Peace Bridge, and the guy told us this. He says first we went to a hotel. Went to a hotel, had dinner, we used to call it dinner in the afternoon. I said, let's go over there, we'll have something. He's okay. We're sitting down, ordering. I got the menu. Hey, Brazel! Somebody's hollering. She said, holy cow, somebody even knows you're here in Canada? And it was a good friend of mine. His name was Ernie Sutz. Lived on Bella Street. And he was working as a waiter in a government hotel. Right? He says, what are you doing here? So we got married, we're gonna go to the Niagara Falls. Because the guy told us the Canadian Falls is not like he says, go to the Niagara Falls. It's a good sight. But at nighttime, watch the Canadian Falls, all illuminated with thousands of different lights. Beautiful at night, beautiful. I think Ralphie, when they went to Buffalo, they seen it. And when we went underneath there, we had raincoats on, boots. We didn't get wet, but it was beautiful.
She loved that, yeah.
Yeah. And then when we got home, we could tell stories about it.
So when did you open that envelope from her mother?
Oh, not until I got home. I made her forget about it. When we got home, I said, by the way, now is a good time. We were upstairs in the bedroom. Open up the letter. She opens it up. She cried. Well, I'll tell you, she was a happy-go-lucky girl all her life. Because they all liked her in the burg, everybody. And a lot of people didn't like her because she was prettier than all of them. And she was a good-looking girl, woman.
How long have you been married?
66 years.
And what advice would you give about making a marriage last a long, long time?
I always trusted my wife. My wife always trusted me. That's a big thing in life. Am I right? Yeah. I mean, you can't. If you trust each other, if you want to go out with your girlfriends, go. If I want to go with my boyfriend, go. But that there, is what makes marriage go. And we had a history in my family. We all got married with a veil in church. And most of us, 8 of us, got married, all of them. There was only one divorce at the time. So things like that. In our day, like today, it's a different world, different, and it's altogether different. Today, they live together, think nothing of it, without getting married, and then maybe 6 years later they'll get married, and they tried it was all right, and then yet they divorce. It's just the time that's changed. And our people, what do you think they used to do? If somebody got married and they broke up, get a nafilo butan.
What's it mean? I'm afraid.
You know what it means? You want to put that on there?
Yeah, you have to. You have
He says the people that got divorced, divorce. That's what our mothers used to say, because they could never do that. See, today's altogether different. I remember one time she came into the Unity League.
Who?
Your mother.
Yeah.
She needed $10 in front of all the people.
What'd she need the $10 for?
Somebody says, "There's a girl out there." And who is it? It's just your daughter. I said, "What?" Tell her to come in. You know, she came in. Came in with I think her girlfriend Rachel, and thing like that. And he says, "Pop, I'm going in town. I need $10. I said, "How much?" Sam Naples was in there, a friend of mine, and I was giving her $10. He said, "Jesus Christ, give her some money, for Christ's sake." So I give her 20. Let's go ahead. Don't make a habit. She made a habit. But, oh, you got me on?
You're on, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even know. So,
Gotcha.
and I gave her 20. Then she came a couple of times. I used to give her $10 and go. And she never told her mother.
No.
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 But Rafi, one time he got in trouble. And that's when him and a couple other guys, they were trying to take the money out of the vending machines, parking machines on Hanover Street. And they got him arrested and they called me up. And they had him in a halfway house on Hamilton Avenue. I crashed the house. It was a house. What the hell are you doing to my kid here? And I knew the guy that was taking care of me. Yeah, that was his job. He's Brazel, don't come at me. I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do. I said, the kid will be all right. Just like that. I said, what did he do? That's all I'm interested in. They said, somebody called up and said they're trying to rob the money out of there. I said, why would he? He said, I already gave him a few bucks to go out with the boys. You know, them days, I said, give him a couple of dollars. I says, hey, Willie, I says, I'm going to tell you something. If anything happens to him, I said, I'll hold you responsible. I'll come after you. His name was Willie Fischella, Rachel's cousin. And I knew the whole family. And he said, look, we ain't gonna do nothing to him. We gotta keep him overnight. Because until we get the, I said, no way, he'll be fed and everything. He said, you can come tomorrow. So they kept him there all night, and next day, you know, let him go. They didn't do nothing to him. That's the only thing I knew about him.
Just talk about his feet, Graham. That was like his major accomplishment in life. Just talk about
tell us about Uncle Johnny.
Oh, you know what he did one day?
Filthy he was.
Or one night. It was early part of the night, about 6 o'clock, summertime. Barefooted. That was his tradition.
His trademark.
So there was a fight on the corner. And I'm there, I'm looking. Let them kill each other. You know, bad gang of kids. Used to come out of Charlie Soda's bar. So he was walking to us, John, where you going? He says, I'm gonna break them guys up. They're hurting each other. Let them kill each other. They're bad guys. So I said, Jesus Christ, let them go. You ain't gonna do nothing. They'll kill you before they'll work you over. And he was going there. John holler. I'm hollering top of my. I holler so loud that Mikey come out. So I said, look, they're fighting on the corner and he's going to have to break them up. What the hell, is he nuts? And he got halfway, he ran over there and he grabbed him. Get the hell home. Put your goddamn shoes on. Like that.
He used to walk on the tar with the.
Oh yeah, well the streets were so damn hot. The streets were so hot that I remember one day I just got done. I was in the backyard, and I had no shoes on. I said, let me go sit down with Pat for a while. Then I come in. I went over there. My God, them streets! You should see me hop all over there. I had tar all over my. Jenny even had to come out and put. Pat's wife had to put something under my feet. That's how bad, and yet he would do it constantly, morning to night. It ain't funny. I mean, it's really, just like you say, must have got immune that you could do. Like a lot of people could walk on light or fire, on coal. Is that right? I couldn't. I would never do it. Oh yeah, a lot of guys just ask him, "Hey, John." They used to say, hey, good boy, John.
Right, Charlie Brown.
And he says, where's your shoes? Hey, you don't know the half of it. He used to say, you don't know the half of it. What is the half of it? He said, somebody came in my house and stole all my shoes. He had shoes that he never wore yet upstairs and paid big money for them. Yeah, that's true.
That's great.
That's funny.
That's a great story. Jesus.
But they all liked him because he was always happy-go-lucky,
He knew
John.
everybody too,
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah.
Used to go, hey, used to go like that, go like that. Boy, what a guy. You couldn't believe it. It was a feast. It was a feast. None of this here carnival stuff.
Right.
We never had that. And we used to walk up and down. All our relatives, a lot of relatives on Humber Street. Rafe used to live right across from the church. And we used to go there. We used to sit right there, listen to the band. And we did a lot of good things there them days. Mm-hmm. Everybody was happy-go-lucky. But it ain't like today. Ain't no more Italian feast. They can't tell me that.
No.
The feast, how big was it back then? How many streets did it go through?
Oh, from Clinton Street to Chestnut Avenue.
Wow, it's much bigger. Yeah.
The whole street, nothing in a park. And they years ago, when they first started it, they used to shoot right in the street up in the air, in the streets, not in the park. Until they got that. Then they make sure nobody gets hurt. But nobody ever got hurt. And I knew the guy, his name was Scardone. He had three toes amputated. He got hit.
What is the name of the joint
That you go to.
that you go to?
Edge Betty.
And where is it?
420 Whitaker Avenue.
Okay. How long have you been a member?
I guess I'll say 20 years.
Name some guys in the club, some of your buddies, whatever.
Well, I can tell you, Billy Benjavang, Ernie, Ralph, Pat, Joe Black, Carmen Alessi. His brother was one of the head guys on the police force. Oh yeah, Joe Hoagie.
How'd you become a member, Grant?
Oh yeah, a friend of mine died. His name was Doggy, Dominic Castaldi. He died, and I used to play numbers with him. So then I said, well, I'll go over Capone's and maybe I'll give it to somebody there. You know, my action. And that's why and they made me stay there. They just put me in as a member. And I was a member since, and I'm just like one of the boys there.
And what do you do there?
Play pinochle. That's my favorite sport.
Mm-hmm.
I play pinochle. Today, I'm 92-year-old. I don't want to brag. I play with 40 and 50-year-old guys. I make a monkey out of them. Mm-hmm. Oh, the hell. And every time I win, Jesus Christ, a 92-year-old man. Oh, no, one guy in there. Who the hell is he? Louis Capone, the head guy. He said, Jesus Christ, you guys always hollering at him, and he always beats you. I said, you guys always like to holler at people, and you just don't know how to play. I tell them.
What else do you do there? You just hanging out?
Yeah, play cards. We'll have to tell you everything I do there.
Yeah. We won't show anybody this.
I play horses, numbers. I mean, but I don't go overboard. Mm-hmm. I'm not what you call, like a lot of people, they'll go for the whole pay, go to the racetrack. They can do it, yet you go to a club, they'll raid the club. And it's just what they did to me.
You want to tell us about the raid?
One day I was in there on a Sunday. I came and bet my football, like today. Bet football, and as I'm walking out, I had a friend of mine in there, Carmen Alessi. And I walked out. I said, Carmen, I'm going out. I'm going to get some air because it's too smoky in there. And I go out. As I'm walking out, it was just like a dog day afternoon, like you see in movies. As I'm going out, guys are coming in. One guy got me, pushed me up against the wall. I come back from the wall, and what the hell's going on, you black son of a bitch? I told him. I said, what the hell are you pushing me up against the wall for? They said, we're all cops. It's cops. You don't show me you're a cop. How the hell do I know you're a cop? And he says, keep that mouth shut. I said, well, why, you gonna do anything about it? And he started pushing me again. And as he did that, I just threw a right hand at him. He went down, he tripped over the rugs. I says, any given day, I kick the living shit out of you. And I'm only 75-year-old at that time. That's how many years ago. So I says, don't you ever monkey with me again. So now when I went home, when they handcuffed me and everything, when I went home, I got washed and everything, and I was going to the Helene Full Hospital, see Grandma. She had a heart attack. The next morning, I'm taking I just got done to come out of the shower, and they come. My daughter come. He said, how come I'm the last one to know about you? She gave me home. Because when I went to the hospital, after I got cleaned up a little bit, I went there and my face was a little bruised, you know, from that cop. But I said, I told her, I said, I didn't say nothing to my wife then. And we're watching football in the hospital. And I didn't say nothing. I went home. You know, after I made my visit, I went home. My son, Ralphie, somebody, Carmen Alessi called him. He called up his house, told him what happened. He came. I'm glad that he never met him, the cop. I don't know what would have happened. He was looking all over for him. Yeah. So a lot of guys were saying your father was here asking questions to who was the guy, where is he at? What they did, the cop, the lieutenant, told me, he says, I'm going to take the handcuffs off, you go home. Because caused enough of trouble. He says, you're a wild man. Just like that, he told me. He said, but I'm giving you a break, go home. So I went home, and that's when I went to the hospital. I never said nothing to Grandma. When Annette says, well, how come I don't know? I didn't know. I said, I didn't tell nobody. I don't go out and brag what I done. He says, look at that back of yours. You got a black and blue mark on your back. I didn't know I had it. I said, that son of a bitch. That's when I got peeved. Me and Rafi, we went to Pelletier's office to get a lawyer to fight it. And I says, if I knew what I had now, I would have cracked him good. I says, any living day, I know I can kick the living shit out of you. I told the guy. And there was one cop, he was Italian, he had a gun on me. They came in like, I said, I says, you guys come in, he's acting, you know what's the matter? I said, you guys watch too much, what was that series on television? The Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, okay.
Remember that? I said, you guys watch too much Dukes of Hazzard. Just like that. I said, if it come to man on one, you couldn't do it. You know, you couldn't see it. And that's when the cop let me go. I went home, then I went to the hospital, come back. And that's when Annette came the next day, told me. Oh yeah, then when I went to the hospital again, she says, how come I didn't know about it? I says, Annette come over this morning, she said the same thing. I didn't tell her either. He says, the cop did that on your face? I says, yeah. But I says, I knocked him down. Oh yeah, she felt good then. But
Gramp, that was in the paper too, right? It was in the newspaper, right?
oh yeah, and then a reporter came over the house the next morning. I didn't like what was in the paper. Put all shit in there, that they were right. They weren't right. Now they can't do what they did. They can't do it today. And the reporter come and wanted to take a story. I says, are you gonna write what I tell you? He says, I'll write what I got, right. I said, okay. And he told me I answered a lot of questions. And I told him the truth, what happened. And the next day's paper, I read it. Well, I'm wrong what I did there by the paper. They give the cops the right. Actually, they're always right. They're officers of the law. Oh, another thing, we had a meeting at the club with the mayor and all. The head cop. We had a big meeting. Everybody was there, a lot of people. The mayor was there. The mayor come up to me, he says, Brazel, he says, well, I knew him good, Mayor Holland. I says, you're a phony, just the day's long, I told him. I says, you give them right. I said, they're wrong what they did to me. They had no business to do what they did to me. Good thing I didn't hit my head. Now, a year later, another reporter come, wanted to know how we're living after a year raid. Oh, I grabbed the hold of the guy. I had him in the hallway. He didn't come in the house yet. I says, let me tell you something. I don't know who you are. We'll introduce each other. Well and good, but if you write what I tell you in the paper, and I'll sign my name, you could come in. And who's coming down the stairs is my brother-in-law, Johnny. He says, well, I can't do that. I said, well, then, out, get out. I ain't got nothing, no story for you. Well, he says, you're the main guy, and all that stuff, what happened? I said, well, look, will you write what I want? He said, well, I'm afraid what you're liable to say. He knew it. I said, well, well, then you're not a newspaper reporter. As long as you're cleared, with my name on it, you're cleared. But he wouldn't do it. He's all for the newspaper. So I says, forget it. So Johnny said, why are you throwing them out? I said, because I'm living here, not you. I am. I don't want them in my house. He got mad and he ran upstairs. Johnny. I don't care. Caroline even told me, she says, you're wrong. I said, look, I'm mad. I'm mad because the reporter knew he was wrong, and I threw him out, and I never gave him a story. Every Saturday I used to go to track, and Fats, his name was Arthur Carucci. 25 years I've been going to track with him. So this one particular Saturday we go to the track. We did all right. I mean, not we didn't do all right about winning, but we didn't lose much. Lost about $20 a piece. So this one particular day we're coming. He said, let's go to Fats. I said, okay, let's go. And every Saturday, I used to go, I used to be home before 6 o'clock, right? And because Mommy wanted to go to Ralphie's house or somebody, and I used to bring her. So this Saturday, he says, let's stop over Eatontown. Right there, it's right near, about 5 miles away from Mama Park. And we stopped in one of the big malls, you know. And we went in, there's a restaurant with donuts. And there was an old lady in there, about 65, 70-year-old, sitting down having a donut, dumping it. Out of a clear sky, Fats gets up, I'm going to use a phone. I go ahead, use a phone. Have a ball. Thinking nothing of it. All of a sudden, he's talking on the phone, calling a state trooper. He says, I got a guy here who wants to kill me. I ain't thinking it, you know. How's he talking to? Comes down, gets off the phone, he sits down. 10 minutes later, boom, up against that wall. Jesus Christ almighty. I looked at one guy and says, hey, what the hell are you doing? What are you guys, crazy or something? Scared the life out of him. And that old woman, I'm watching her eating donuts and thinking nothing of it. As if nothing happened. Here I am, almost gonna crap my pants. They pull the guns out. That's the second time it happened to me in my life. And I said, look, you don't have to do that to me. I'll listen to you. Why make a scene like that? I said, here's the guy needs help here. Then it's coming two and two together. He was called the state trooper barracks. Then it's coming to me. I said, this son of a bitch is going nuts. I said to the guy, I said, please, put the guns away. Please, I won't do nothing. I'll be less quiet. And they did. And they realized it. I said, now what the hell is the trouble? He said, we got a call from the state troopers. He called up the state troopers, somebody wants to kill him. He said, you're the only guy. Jesus Christ, I said, that guy needs, I've been going to the racetrack with him for 25 years. I went in my pocket like this. I pulled out the stubs that I lost. I said, here's what the hell I lost today. And he lost. I said, maybe he's gone berserk. Just like that, I told him. So, I says, Fats, what the hell's wrong with you? I said, Fats, we're 25 years. What the hell are you doing to me? Just like that. Oh, I'm giving him another argument. I was going to give him a nubbly down smack. And he says, never mind. And I was trying to get close to him. Get away from me. Oh, I'm in big trouble. This was 4:30. We never left the track until about 4:45. 7 o'clock, we're still in there, eating time. We're still in there. I try to cool him down. So after about 7 o'clock, I says, Fats, could I talk to you? He says, yeah. I said, let's go home, please. And you know I gotta meet my wife 6 o'clock. Then he started realizing, okay, let's go. I said, give me the keys. Give me the keys. Nope, I got in the car with him. That's the mistake. Oh, what a ride. I lived 1,000 debts. Yeah, you laugh, that's true. You know, you never went, I don't know if he's ever, the streets of Freehold, when you hit Freehold, they're narrow. I don't know how the hell he ever went between, on the pavements, the cars just could make it and get off the street. And so, mother, look at the ride he's giving me, only my streets and all. Not one state trooper from Eatontown to Freehold. And I ain't done with him yet. I went for the keys in the ignition 3 different times, and one time he hit me with a right hand, hit me right here. You should see that black and blue mark I had here. I didn't care about that. Pain didn't mean nothing to me. As this guy, I know I gotta die tonight. I know it. I'm gonna die. Getting on a goddamn highway, Jesus Christ almighty. In and out, in and out. No state troopers. Could it be possible? I'm glad we didn't hit a state trooper. I think we would have crashed. But watch what I tell you afterwards. When we got down to where the highway comes in, make a right turn, you go into Broad Street, and you keep going straight 130, right? And in the back there was the playgrounds where they play. And when we're making, he's slowing down a little bit, and as he's slowing down, I'm going about 10, 12 miles an hour, and that's fast enough. And your footwork. Now I got a couple of cigars here yet. A couple of cigars in my pocket, and I didn't even get a chance to smoke. But I couldn't, I didn't think about it. And as soon as we got near that road, I opened the door and I jumped. I said, here goes nothing. I ripped my pants here, scratched my body, every goddamn thing. Jesus. Cigars all over the highway. Not one son of a bitch in cars stopped. Just kept going. And you think one car would stop? Nobody. Okay. I'm walking down the thing here. And I'm walking right by the playground. Him and Drew were there, Ellie and Ralphie. Grandpa, Grandpa. Somebody hollered out, Grandpa. Ralphie looked up. And me, I don't see nobody. I can't wait till I get over the house. And it was them. They got me, put me in the car. What happened? Let's get home. Now this is 8:45.
I was with Grandma.
Yeah, you were home. When we come home, the old lady was going, wait. I couldn't talk. I was speechless in the house. After I cooled off, I went to the bathroom, bang. I said, Ralph, I got an awful ride. I said, if I ain't dead now, I'll never die. That's why I think I ain't gonna die no more. I said, holy Christ, and I told him, holy Christ. I said, I'm glad I'm here. You take your pants off. You went in the bedroom, me and him, all black and blue, bruised up. He used put something on, I forgot what he put on. Cleaned it up. He's like, take a shower. I took a shower. Before you know, it's about 10 o'clock at night. And I was wondering why you didn't come over the house. Because you were over the house, and that's when they come over. Then I had to tell that story 1,000 times.
Why did he go crazy? Did you find out?
No, here's what happened. I found out afterwards. That's true. About a month before, they used to call it, in a racetrack, they used to a guy by the name of, they used to call him Catman. Catman. We had a lot of cats in the house, all trained cats, never got married. And this guy used to go out looking for tickets on the floor. And every time he'd find a ticket that he thinks is good, he would hold it, put it in his pocket. So every day, he used to do this for a year. I didn't know it. And give him the fats. And fats used to look and find out if they were any good. This one particular Saturday, they found one that was worth $10,000. Trifecta ticket. Some drunken son of a bitch in there must have threw it away. A ticket like, we'll say, 10-7-4. All you gotta do, you gotta know, it's seventh race. You look up on a board, and it's got all the, right? Well, they must have looked at it 30 times. 30 times, Fats told me. And it was a good ticket. So they waited about 2-3 weeks. Then they cashed it. Nobody knew anything about it. Now, after a couple of months go by, he's thinking that somebody found out about the tickets. They're after him. He went nuts. He almost burned his mother alive, and he lived a couple of doors from Nick Mazzara's house on Washington Street. He was a hell of a good guy. Nice mother. He used to take her to bingos, take her all over. And he used to take her to the track. He was a hell of a good family man. That's one thing about him. But what he did to me, I wanted to kill. Oh, the next morning, I almost threw him off the step. I almost threw him off that step. He did go off, but a good thing he didn't go the way I pushed him. If he didn't grab a hold of the concrete and then went over, I think he would have broke his neck. I would have been held for murder. I got him. He came in on Sunday morning. You wanted to take me to track. You son of a bitch bastard, I hollered out. Sunday morning, everybody, Mikey came charging out of the house. He said, what the hell happened? I got him. I threw him off the porch, and he caught him down. Mikey picked him up. What the hell happened?
Grandma was locking all the windows.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I wanted to kill the son of a bitch. Get that.
How old were you when that happened?
Oh, this is before I got the heart attack.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got the heart attack when I was 75.
Yeah.
It was before that. I think it was 1953. And I worked in the post office. And that afternoon, I used to go around the station. I used to help out like Joey Mans or Charlie Mack to go deliver the racing papers to different places. And Charlie Mack says, by the way, I got 2 checks here. I want you to cash them for me and go pay Barney Bernstein and Dave Bernstein $500 apiece after you cash them. And I did that. And I had about $400 or $500 in change. That particular day, whatever made me do it, I don't know, and I'm glad I did it. Because what I did, I cashed the checks, got all the money, put it in my pocket, nice, made sure I counted it right. And I got 2 envelopes out of the bank, and I put 500 here in this envelope and 500 in this envelope. That when I go in to pay the 2 brothers on Warren Street, and I go, hey, Dave, here's the $500. Give me a 20, I put it in my pocket. Like a dope. Like a dope. Watch what you hear. You had a brother give me $20, like a dope, I put it in there. Then when I come back, I had to stop for a light on Lamberton and Bridge. I stopped for a light. It was the summertime, the windows are wide open. Guy comes opens the door and he sits down in the front seat with me. I said, where you going? Oh. I'm here, I'm feeling something here. Jesus Christ, I seen some silver. A silver gun, like, I'm not sure what the guts. Why me? So he says, when that light turns, just make a right turn. Go down Lambert Street, to the end of Lambert Street. Turn, go down to where we used to go for the automobile road test years back. I can't think of the name now. Well, anyway, I did what he told me, and I was peeing my pants. I'm not lying. I was scared. This son of a bitch was going to kill me. He made me stop the car, got the key out of the ignition, threw it over the building, and I can't drive my car now. Empty your pockets. Oh my God, I empty all my pockets. And 2 poor $20 bills I got. Tip. They had to put on the seat. That's really great. Took it all but the, he says, you were supposed to have over $2,000. Where is it at? I said, where'd you get that information at? I know I got somebody, you know, ratted on me. I know who it was. I found out afterwards. Oh my God, I mean, what a shellac they got. I gotta tell you that. I got a hold of Spike and Joe DeMole. How the hell did you know I had that kind of money? Nobody knew it. I didn't tell nobody. But they knew it. So anyway, what I'm mad about, I lost $40. My 220s, the tip that the guys give me. Even maybe if I put it in another pocket, it would have been different, but I put it all put together. So I told the guy that took the money. Well, I know the guy. I knew the guy afterwards. Because I seen him around the station. Not that he knew me, but I knew him. So I told my brother Noel about it afterwards. And I says, there's $40 of my money up there. How about give it to me? I said, I cashed the check and I went and paid them guys. I didn't know I was going to get held up. That's why the money ain't here. I said, but now you got the $300 and my $40. That's what I'm worried about, my $40. Keep the $300. Don't. Put the gun right here. Shut up while you're ahead. Just like that. They're from Philadelphia. And 2 days later, they knocked off Bill Popkin, one of the biggest bookmakers in the city. They knocked off the gas station and all the books. Must have been thousands of dollars they got. And then Charlie Mack realized that broad daylight, they held you up. I said, hey, if you're going to get held up, you get held up any time. But the difference, broad daylight. And in other words, Charlie Mack, the guy I was working for, didn't trust me. That's when I told him, I said, I ain't doing this for you for no more. I said, you and I are done. I said, you son of a bitch, you. I says, I almost got killed, and you're doing that to me? And I said, I lost 40 goddamn stinking effing dollars. I'm mad about the $40. But he realized that afterwards that he was right. And he handed me $50, you know, about 2 weeks later. And I give it to Grandmom. I used to give it to every other extra money, I used to give it to her. Right in the meantime, I hit the number so many times, bought a new car, railroad, I quit the railroad from 45 to 50. I never went back to the railroad, I went to the post office. Good thing I did it. So, it must have been about a year later. Because Nello, my brother, he was He was stern, boy. Him and I, we got just like that. And he says, find out who the guy was. I got to give him a workover. You know, him and another guy by name of Lawrence Frashella. There were two guys always together. And my brother was a guy, he'd hit you first and then talk. That's why I always say, never get sucker punch. And I never got one, never got a sucker punch. And I always stay a distance away from a guy. So this year, one day I seen the guy in the station. This tall guy. I know that was the bastard. So, who was coming by was Joe the Mole. I said, Joe, do me a favor. Noel's on opposite that their joint. You know what a joint is? He says, yeah, go get him. Tell him to bring somebody with him. Lancy or something. And he did. And they're always together. Mount Jeff, they call him. So they come down. Walk through the station. I says, he's sitting down. He was with a woman. That's him. You sure? I said, that's him. Let me take the first crack. I said, that's how sure I am. He said, don't worry about it. He got him.
Yeah.
So, we went up to the guy, says, hey, pal, can I speak you outside? Who are you? Never mind who I am. And the girl was getting up, you sit there. Lawrence Frashella said, you sit there. He went to talk to him outside, personal. Got him in the back of the station, and what they almost threw him in a creek. There's a creek. They picked him up after they give him a beating, and he rolled all the way, almost went into the creek. What a shellacking they gave him. Nobody came around, no cops, nothing. And I said, I'm mad because I didn't take a shot. I'm the guy that should have got a shot. And that was the guy. So now I went up to Duke the next day. I'm going to tell you something, Duke. You and Danny Blink, Danny One Eye, we call him the Blink. If I ever find out this is the truth, so help me Christ, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Just like that. I said, you're the guy that had it set up. He got red in the face. But I never did nothing to him. He was scared of me. Holy Christ, nobody. His brother was a hell of a good friend of mine, Joe Morphine. He used to come over to the house and everything. But I says, you goddamn fake. I call them everything under the sun. Well, things like that. I mean, anything to make a buck, them guys would do. And God knows how much they got for that. But I was worried about the $40. Son of a bitch. I mean, you know, it hurts. You're gonna get a tip for doing something every day you do. And I gotta put up with that. Did I know it was gonna happen? I didn't know it. But hey, that's an awful feeling. I had to go home, change my pants, every damn thing. Take a bath. Yeah, you laugh. Well, one day we decided to go to Shy Park and watch the Yankees that night. It was my brother-in-law Mike, my brother-in-law Junior. He was the baby in the family, and about 8 of us. We went. We got a train and we went to Shy Park. And in there, we witnessed something that never happened in baseball before. 7 putouts or 7 double plays in one game. I think it was six or seven double plays. And we witnessed it. They broke a record that night. That day, that night, a foul ball come into the stands, and my brother-in-law, Mike, grabbed it. And we gave it to Mike. We gave it to Junior. So, when the game was over, we never figured that what happened, but it did happen. I was walking through the train, you know, to see where we can get about 4 or 5 seats. And because the train was still parked in the 30th Street station. So, as I go, holy Christ, I said, the whole goddamn DiMaggio gang is in there. So I said, holy cow, look at this. So I went back, I said, hey, Mike, I said, Christ, the whole Yankee team's in there. We ought to do something with that ball. So I got the ball, and we give it to Phil Rizzuto, the scooter. So I says, hey, Phil, he looked like as if I knew him for years. I say, Scoot. That's why I used to call all the guys, you know, nicknames. That was their nicknames. I says, you think you could do me a favor? And I got a brother-in-law of mine there, a young fellow, the baby in the family. My brother-in-law, one of the brothers, caught a ball and he wants him, see if we can get some autographs. He said, oh, no problem. And it looked like me, I was taller than him. But that's how short Phil Rizzuto was, 5'5½". But I mean, for a baseball player, that's short. You know, they wouldn't let him in big leagues before. He says, go gain a reputation. He turned out to be All-American, you know. So what happened? He gets the ball. Joe D was the first guy. Joe, come here. He's looking up to Joe DiMaggio. And you went to autograph it. His name was on the ball. Yogi Berra was there too. Yogi Berra. Phil Rizzuto. Red Rolfe, third baseman. Tommy Henrich, first baseman. Lou Gehrig. All most valuable player awards, and they won, and they turned out to be Hall of Famers. And we did a good job with the ball. My brother-in-law got that ball and he fixed it up that he make sure he's got it off, you know. Today he can't find it. Can't find that ball. And many times we had opportunities to go to New York and see Joe D, you know, when they retired. All these guys like Yogi Berra, Phil Rizzuto. And we can't do it. And don't know yet today what happened to that ball. And from then on, I says, holy cow, I says, you know, I says, we're fortunate to see these guys on train. We're going on and we're sitting the same goddamn, and we sat in the back of them. Me, I never sat. I always used to walk up and down, up and down. I had to talk. And I got to know them guys pretty good. Because every time I used to go to Yankee Stadium, always sit alongside first base line. That's where the Yankee dugout is. And if you want to meet the opposing, you go third base line. That's where we used to meet Joe DiMaggio when he was on that hit streak, Griffith Stadium. We were on first base line. And we, fortunate enough, we got a seat there. It was made that way when we got the tickets. And we were with the whole Yankee team. And I had 2 boxes of the Nobly cigars, stogies. You know, you smoke them Italian cigars. And I was smoking one day. And Ernie Bonham, we used to call him Tiny, because he was huge. They used to call him Ernie Tiny Bonham. Great pitcher of the Yankees. And he, through the doubleheader, we got to know him as if we knew him forever. Everybody. The whole gang that we were with, you know, they used to like the way we used to talk. So every time when Joe DiMaggio, that's why we went there, because we wanted to see him tie a record and break a record, a doubleheader of the hitting streak. It was 44. He already had 43. Well, every time he used to come up to bat, the first time, Ernie Bonham used to get on his knees. Okay, we used to have to do a sign of cross too. We did. All, especially my brother-in-law Nick Mazzara was there. He was like a priest today. And I said he was with us. It's a good thing he's my witness today that we seen the game. And he won't lie for nobody. When he got up the plate, when he come up the plate, Ernie Bonham says, "Okay, fellas, everybody, we had to get on our knees." The whole dugout. Got on our knees. Got out. Second time he got out. Third time in the first game, oh, what a shot. Home run. He broke the record. And you heard the people. You couldn't hear yourself talk. If somebody wants to talk to you, you can't hear because the noise. 35,000 people in. They claimed afterwards, people that couldn't get into the Griffith Stadium, there was more people out there than was inside. Just imagine, we went to Griffith Stadium, don't know if we're gonna go in, and I got in with that there by my finagling. I did that in New York too. See Frank Sinatra. Well, Madeline.
Great. Talk about how you finagled your way into the stadium.
Tell that story again about how you got into Griffith Stadium. That you were just talking to the guy, the tall guy.
Oh.
Just tell a little bit of that.
But how I got the tickets, it was a mystery. To me, I didn't even know I was going to pull it off, but it happened to come. I guess, to me, the Lord must have said, this kid's he's got to get in there. That's all. So I told the guys, I says, let me pull some of my magic touches, you know. So I met the usher there. See, they always have they have ushers all around. So I bumped into him and I was talking to him. I says, "Hey," I says, "how you been?" I said, "I seen you last week here." "Oh, I'm here every day." "I know." I said, "Yeah, I don't come every day, but I'm a constant, you know, I buy tickets all the time, every week." So, "No kidding?" I says, "Yeah. Then we got to get, to know each other." And we were talking and talking and talking. out of the clear sky. I was there about an hour. I said, how am I going to get around this guy? What am I going to say to him? He knows I'm going to. And I got them guys, they're someplace now getting a cup of coffee. I don't know where they're at. I'm all alone. No. He says, what's the problem? I said, I got a lot of problems. Christ, I'm gifted with problems. So I told him, I says, you know, I says, here, I come here, and I'm talking to you, and I'm supposed to buy 6 tickets, and how am I going to get them now? I said, I was supposed to get in line, and never got in line, and I forgot all about it by talking to you. We're talking about fights in here, you know, about Madison Square Garden and stuff like that. He said, yeah, I'm there every week. I said, I'm there every Friday. I said, you come in the Forest Hotel, you'll meet me anytime on a Friday. I'll look forward to you. And I met him twice, you know, two, 3 times this usher. When the usher says, give this young gentleman, he said, it's all my fault that he ain't got a line. He says, give him 6 tickets. It's my fault too. He went. He apologized for me. He didn't have to, but he did it. And he got me 6 tickets. And I went in there, I says, you should live a long life, I went. And he got to like me. And that's how we got. When them guys, when I found I seen them in the coffee, I said, come on, we're going to go into get a seat. How'd you get the tickets? Waste no money to buy them. You should have seen it. There was thousands of people outside. How'd you do it? And I told him, you know, we were walking in. After we got situated alongside the third base line, a good seat. And I did a dugout, middle underneath. So I had the receipt. I used to show it to people for God knows how many. You know, I worked on the railroad. Here's my stump. I went and see it, and I showed them the stuff until it wore out. I don't know what happened though after that. God knows what I could have done with that ticket.
Babe Ruth at Wetzel, the home run at Wetzel Field.
Oh, one day, this is really funny. We're going to Wetzel Field, and I said, hey, John. I told my brother-in-law, John, let's bring the old man with us. That day, I'm not lying. A week before, I bought a wristwatch on time. $1 down, $1 a week. That's when they catch you. So I bought a wristwatch, and I had a wristwatch on. I'm about the only guy with a wristwatch. I used to like to show off when I used to go to dances, you know, all dressed up, wristwatch on, gold. It costs about $25. So we go to Wetzel Field, and the old man has to come with us. So I climbed the fence first because I was the smallest. Got over. I said, all right, make the old man come over. The old man come over, and I knew the guy downstairs that's taking care. There's only 4 or 5 of us. Okay, don't make it anymore. Don't worry about it. He used to be scared of me. So we all jumped over the goddamn fence, and when I jumped, I slipped and I tripped over. Damn thing went in pieces. The wristwatch. I know I ain't gonna pay for this watch. I only gave him $1 for it. $1 a week, 30 weeks you get it done. So it never happened. So we went over the fence and we got in. Oh, the place is getting jam-packed. Oh, we're watching the ball game. Babe Ruth would come up. He'd hit a long fly ball, hit the fence. Lou Gehrig come up, he'd hit the fence. And there were drives. And did you ever go to Missile Field? There were drives hitting the fence. So anyway, in the latter innings, Babe Ruth comes up, he hits a wicked drive. It's gone. It's gone. You want to see? We were trying to hide the ball until you couldn't see it no more. It went over the fence. And we don't know until the next day what happened. That it hit concrete, bounce, right into the drugstore window. Right into the drugstore window on Chambers Street. He must have hit a 600-foot drive. And Lou Gehrig hit one over the fence, but nowhere near it. Well, anyway, we seen what we wanted to see. Then when you read the paper, the State Gazette, used to be, the Trenton, they used to call it Trenton State Gazette. Big headline. A monstrous home run by Babe Ruth. Hit the concrete in the street, right into the fence, right to the hospital, to the pharmacist. Napoleon's restaurant. And we didn't believe it. Oh my God, but we seen that drive. And after the game was over, I went down the station. I used to be my hangout. After I used to do whatever home, and I used to go over there. And a couple of friends of mine says, after we're in the joint, he says, hey, there's Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Oh, we just seen them play baseball. And I went in there, there's Babe Ruth, 1 foot on the thing, the bar, drinking beer, and Lou Gehrig. And I told him, I said, I just watched you hit them, you hitting them monstrous home runs. But Babe Ruth, I don't know where it went. But yours, we just seen it just go over. The Lou Gehrig. He said, yeah, he hits he hits a wicked drive. There's nobody gonna beat him. Just like that, he told me. And it's a true story. And I met idols and never got their autographs. Never. And I never went for that stuff. And that was the story of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. And I liked Babe Ruth on the con. He was an orphan and I was an orphan. And that's why I went for the Yankees on the con of him. But I seen Lou Gehrig that day they had him in the Yankee Stadium. We went to see the game, me and Sammy Naples, Yankee Stadium, when he made that address speech. I was there. A couple of weeks before, Lou Gehrig, I have to say, well, why I'm crying, I said, he was getting a disease, Lou Gehrig disease. I seen him get a hit. He hit a ball over first baseman's head, go into right field, and he got out of first base. On the hit, he got out. It was a no hit. He couldn't make the first base. throw toilet paper at him. Nobody knew what was going on. There was gotta be a reason why he didn't make first. And it caught up with him. Right after that, he retired.
But you were there for that speech,
Yeah.
huh? Wow, that's something.
Well, this is way after he retired, both of them. 1949, when I first got a job at the post office, we're gonna have a bus trip, we're going to New York and see the Yankees play. I said, oh yeah, I'll go. Grandma was with us. Well, we got a wonderful seat there right alongside the third base line. And we were sitting right there with the Yankees. So there was a guy by the name of Joe D'Angelo who whooped me. He must be about 6 feet tall. So we were watching a ball game, and Ted Williams playing left field. Dominic DiMaggio playing right field. And you didn't know that, did you? And Joe DiMaggio playing for the Yankees, center field. To me, he was just as good as Joe DiMaggio as a center fielder. But he was a little shorter than Joe, but he was good. But anyway, what I'm trying to tell you, what happened one day, I mean this day in particular, a ball comes, it was going towards, let me see, it was coming this way. And Ted Williams was coming, and Dominic DiMaggio was trying to cover him. You know, you gotta, see, a center fielder's got a tough job. He's gotta cover right, gotta cover left. So Ted Williams, to me, wasn't no left fielder. The way it happened to that day. He made about 2 errors. So this one time, he was coming in, I was by you, bum you, I hollered out. And then the noise from all the other people, they're going, you're a bum. He said, you make an error, almost hit you in the head with the ball. He was going to come into the stands. He was coming into the stands. Joe D'Angelo, a friend of mine, he says, come on, I dare you, you bum you. And he was coming, and they grabbed him. They grabbed Ted Williams. But that was just nothing things to do in baseball. I mean, you feel sorry afterwards, but we did it. That's the same with what they did to Lou Gehrig. See, I took baseball, I took it serious. I'm not like a lot of guys who go to the ball games, then they come home, they say, hey, I went and see the Yankees. When I go to Yankees, I watch every play. I enjoy it. And that's why I went. And I used to, just imagine, them days, I used to get on the train by myself and go to New York, go see a game. I didn't have to ask, hey, you want to go? I'd go by myself. Because everybody couldn't afford to go by train and then get in. And the ticket was only $1, quarter, or something like that. I used to meet Paul Craig almost every other Saturday over a train station. Sammy Naples used to be there with a couple of guys every Saturday. With George Pelletier, one of the biggest lawyers in the state. Used to be with him all the time. Him, Torn Lord, the head of the Democrat Party. And I used to meet all them guys. So every Saturday, he used to come in, he used to wander the racing paper, the scratch sheet we used to call it. I used to get it and bring it to him. So as this one particular day, I gave him the scratch sheet, and as I was walking out, Sammy was going, He was going like that. What the hell are you talking? I figured he'd go to the back room. So in the back was the dining room. In there was, I was dumbfounded. Joe DiMaggio and his kid. I mean, there was a kid, I don't know who it was. About 14-year-old, I guess, 13. And I said, hello, Joseph. I'm just like Joe D. He said to me, he says, you're the guy that seen me play, on that hitting streak. I heard that so many times, people in here. He said, we got a guy here that was there. And Tony Dutch's brother, my brother-in-law, his brother was a waiter there. He says, yeah, I'm the one. Because he went with my brother. They worked on the railroad. They went and see it in Griffith Stadium. No kid. I said, yep. And I said, I thought that was the way I admired you as a ball player. And when I seen you, it was a different story. I was dumbfounded. And I says, and by the way, I says, whatever happened to your son? Oh, just like that. And I'm dumbfounded, I don't know what to say. And he says, well, I don't want to talk about him. You don't mind? I said, no, I won't mind. And I don't know yet, today. He won't tell me. Something, whatever happened with his first wife and the kid, it's between them, it's gone. I don't know. But I know I seen the kid. Nice looking kid. And Joe DiMaggio says, boy, oh boy, you're just like, you're all over. Trenton, here, there. And he says, I'm coming in Trenton, Cedar Gardens next week. And he said, maybe I'll see you there and we'll talk. But now I couldn't make it. But my brother Rafe was there. He took pictures and all. And I didn't go. A lot of people like that, they can't name you the 8 ballparks that was in existence at them days. Mark them down. Here, get a piece of paper. Well, we'll start from Boston. Boston Red Sox. New York Yankees. Philadelphia A's. Griffith Stadium, Washington. Detroit. St. Louis. Cleveland, Municipal Stadium. How many you got?
7.
Chicago White Sox. Is that 8?
Mm-hmm.
People today can't name them. Right? You got them right down. And when I went in that club, oh my God, I didn't think nothing of it. Carmen said, Jesus Christ, here we're going for 2 hours arguing about, we're all trying to figure out, and then you come in here in 3 minutes, and you're dying. Carmen, you never let he always and he always puts his arm around me. He embraces me. This Carmen Barbuda, a hell of a nice guy. Phil Lewis, he's Italian, but that was his professional name. He was the head of the boxing guild. And Sammy Naples and him were like that. And I used to take Sammy Naples all the time to New York. I'd drive him here, drive him there, and that's how we got along. Sammy Naples turned out to do his books. Every Friday, he had a room in the Hotel Forest. Go up there, he used to spend an hour and do all his income tax. For nothing. He used to do Rocky Graziano's, Jake LaMotta. He did almost everybody, never charged nobody a dime. That's what kind of a guy he was. And he bought me a ticket. Well, altogether, I'll say about 8, 9 years. My wife couldn't keep me home. That's your thing, you go. She made me go. I used to go there. It never cost me a dime for a ticket. And if Sammy Naples couldn't make it, if I went in the Hotel Forest, Phil Lewis would have got me in. All he had to do was write a piece on the paper, go to the certain window, they'll give you a ticket. Through me, Phil Lewis, head of the boxing guild. So one day he said to me, he says, "You'd like to go see the fights in the garden?" Oh my God, yeah. I says, "I ain't got the price for the $8 for a ticket." It was $8 for the ticket them days. I couldn't afford $8. I wasn't making $15 a week on the railroad when I worked. He said, "Don't worry about it. It's on me. I can't give you a dime for taking me here and there. It's worth every bit of it." And he says, "Okay." He says, "You got a seat as long as you want to come every Friday. I'll have a ticket for you." I said, "I'll come every Friday. I got a railroad pass. Won't cost me nothing. And you got a dinner coming in Sorrento's every Friday night. Spaghetti and lobster sauce." And I used to have that every Friday night. Now, when we used to go to Yankee Stadium, I used to hang, and Sammy naturally took me to Forest Hotel. That's where the hangout was. You would meet every fighter. Like when they don't fight tonight, you'll see them. So one particular night, Rocky Graziano, as I'm walking through the dungeon, they call it, to go to the dressing room, there was a guy sitting on a lot of seats they had outside the rooms. And I said, "Yeah, that's Rocky Graziano." And I know, "Hey, Rock, how you doing?" He says, "Bean Bully there yet?" Called Sammy Naples Bean Bully. You know? I said, "No, I just come," and I said, "I'm going to go down. I was going to see who's around the dressing room." And I bump into you. I said, "Jake LaMotta around?" He said, "He'll be here shortly." He said, "Sit down." I sat down with him. I said, "You look like you're in the dumps." "Yeah, I had trouble." I said, "What happened?" He says, "My wife's kid was in an accident. We don't know if he's going to make it or not." He said, "I'm sorry about that. I hope everything turns out all right." We were talking. I says, "Is that what you're down on the dumps?" He says, "Yeah." "He'll be all right. Don't worry about it." I said, "Young kids today, they got quick, getting better. And like us old guys." I said, and he was only a kid, Rocky. He was world champion. Just got done beating the day when he came to Trenton. He was supposed to come to the Garden, get introduced. He just got done beating Tony Zale for the world championship. That was the night I was supposed to go, but I didn't want, you had to go by train, by plane, and that won't fly in Chicago. So Sammy Naples went. So I didn't go, and that night there, in the fourth round, his eye was so battered up that the cut man, Whitey Bimstein, one of the best cut men in the world, what he did in 1 minute, you got 1 minute, 1 minute from when the round ends to there, he got a razor, cut the eye, sucked all the blood out, right in the bucket. Them days, you used to buy leeches in the drugstore. They used to put them on there and take the blood out. And that's what he did all in that 1 minute. Because if he didn't do it, he was going to quit because he couldn't see. Now, all in a 1 minute time, took all the blood out, was down, he could see. Rocky Graziano claimed that he was blind. He thought he lost his eyelid, his eye. Then when he knew he could see, he came out in the fifth round. Bing, 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 knocked him out. Just like that. And I don't know what happened, in the ring, but they told me that when Rocky Graziano came home, and Sammy told me, he says, what he did in that 1 minute time, it's amazing what a guy them days did without even endangering their health. Today, you can't do it. They won't allow you. Just imagine, sucking the blood right out. We were having dinner with Jake LaMotta, Rocky Graziano, Bobby Ruffin, and Cuppolo. We were eating. Where's that big belly coming? Rocky Graziano. He was the smallest in the guy, He was a world champion, Jake LaMotta. And I said, I'll be here. And he never come. 9 o'clock, I said, I'm going in. I said, everything is taken care of. Don't worry about the dinner, I told Sam will pay for it when he comes. And then he came about 10 minutes to 10, just before the big fight. I forgot the fight. And he came, I said, what happened? We had a goddamn accident in the tunnel. Coming into the station. He said, we couldn't get out off the train until they cleared up. A lot of damage, took over an hour. And I says, Sam, I told him, I says, we ate and everything. I said, I don't have a dime. Don't worry about it. You told him? Did you tell the head chef? He says, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's always paid. Well, Jake LaMotta, I was always talking to him every Friday night. When they were in town, that was the hangout. And I was talking to him. I says, hey, Jake, not for anything. I told him. I was over his house. I was over Rocky's house. We had dinner. After Tony Zale fight, Sammy Naples said, I got to go down to his house. And I had a 47 Plymouth, brand new, I had. Not new, it was about a year old. And we drove all the way to his house. Or if I had to tell you how they got there, I wouldn't know how, I couldn't describe it. So anyway, we went to his house. We got in there, I'm telling you, boo, the spaghetti bolognese. Oh, good food. We ate good. And I told Rocky, no, Jake LaMotta, I says, Jake, he had the champ Now you got the champ. Now they got it in the papers where they want you two to fight. You think it'll ever come up? I would never fight him. Rocky, Jake LaMotta. I told Rocky, would you fight him? Blood is thicker than stone. When we get to Rocky Marciano, Sammy Naples says, I never seen him fight, see, before. And he was just coming up. This was in the 50s. And he says, we're gonna see Rocky Marciano tonight. I says, okay. But however he is, I don't know him. Oh, I got to love him. I got to love him. The way he used to fight. No matter what kind of a fight, he fought Roland LaStarza, a college graduate, wonderful looking guy. And they fought 10-round fight, and he wasn't no champion yet, Rocky. Marciano. So they fought 10-round fight. They gave the decision to Marciano. So, and a good fight, very good fight. Oh, 10-round, best fight I've ever. A good fight, clever. And they shook hands after the fight and everything. And about a month later, Marciano had another fight. Looked like he was fighting almost every 3 months. You know, we got him up, and I used to watch them all. He fought them all. Fought the best they had. So it come to the time that a championship fight. So this particular night, he fought a guy by the name of, geez, I can't think of the name. I got in heaven, Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, he fought I don't know if it was, no, Archie Moore, I seen him with your father. But anyway, he fought a top-notch fighter, colored guy. He kicked the living crap out of him. Oh my God. But how a guy could go in there for a 15-round fight and throw punches for 15 rounds without stopping. And the other guy's got to stop. And after he stops, he's done. They retire. Every fight that he fought, and he won, he never lost a fight. I never seen him lose a fight. Every fight he fought, the guy that he fought was a great fighter. That was the last fight. Then I seen him fight Joe Louis. Joe Louis was making a comeback. He had 9 straight knockouts. Joe Louis. I says, hey, I hollered out in the ring. I had a brother of mine in there, Chappie. He was in the ring. I took him to Madison Square Garden with me. I got him a ticket. And I said, no, I said, I told Chappie, I says, you know, when you come here, you got to keep quiet because they'll throw you out. I was kidding him. He was serious, my brother. So I says, you're going to see a good fight. One of the most cleverest light heavyweight in the world. He destroyed him. Fighting for 15 rounds. It lasted 15 rounds. And he beat him at a decision. Then he had to fight him again for the title. And he knocked him out. That was the end of that fighter. Joe Louis, he fought. 8 straight knockouts he had. He came in there, right out of the ring, he hit him. Knocked him right out of the ring. Destroyed Joe Louis. That was the end of him. Never fought no more after that. And every fight he fought, even Archie Moore, they didn't fight no more. He'd destroy you because he would hit you, you're blocking, he would throw punches, and he would never stop. The only way he could stop is the bell's got to ring or the referee's got to stop you. And that's the only way them guys, they saved all that further punishment because they were protecting their face. That's what kind of like fighter Marciano turned out to be. And to me, there isn't a person in the world that could throw that many punches without stopping for 15 rounds. Today, 12 rounds, after 3 rounds, they're poofed. That's why Marciano's got to go down as the greatest. Oh, Dean Martin. Just one particular morning, my brother Rafe and Chappie, my brother Chappie, and Paul Quay, they went golfing. I says, what I'm going to do, we're going to walk down the strip. I walked from my casino. I took my sweet time. Casino to casino. I walk in 2 minutes, come out, see what it looks like, go to the next one, until I came to MGM. But the next one was Caesar's Palace. I didn't get there yet. So as I'm walking, I'm hearing a lot of noise, pounding in here. They were building a stadium, big as a stadium, to seat 20,000 people to a big fight. And I was curious, and as I'm walking by, I seen all their seats coming up. I said, holy Christ, it's going to be a big fight, I guess. Something I didn't even know. But I found out afterwards. And as I'm walking, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. That night, we went and see Dean Martin. Cost us $25. We had steak and everything and see the show. I says, and throughout the whole performance, he's got a glass in his hand. A little glass like that. So he's, and he never put in his mouth. So this one particular time, after about 40 minutes, I'm getting disgusted. I said, geez, what's he gonna put in his mouth? In fact, the whole 3 of us, the 4 of us. And all of a sudden, he was ready to go like that. My brother Rafe, as we were going like that, a salute. He said it loud enough that Dean Martin said, a salute para te, just like that. He raised the glass and he took a little drink. And I told him about it. I says, Dean, not for anything. And he's got me sitting down. He wanted to give me a coffee and everything. That's what he was drinking. He said, you can smell it. You don't think I got drink? No, I ain't got nothing. That's all coffee, regular coffee. I said, I believe it. Who am I? And I didn't get a coffee. I just got done that. One coffee out of another casino I had. You get it for nothing. So I'm talking to him. I must have been talking to him forever. you know, until he got done. And he wasn't, and I even told him, I says, you know, Skinny Ennis, Skinny Amatia, he's the head of the 500 club in Atlantic City. Well, you know him. Don't tell me you know him. I says, I knew him when he didn't have 3 cents. Back in the late 20s, Skinny Amato didn't have a pot to pay it. Couldn't even buy a cup of coffee. We even got him a room in the hotel. We got him a room. We all chipped in 50 cents a piece, $2 a week for a room. So Skinny. And we used to buy him coffee every day, every night. And got one to be one of the group. And I says, well, I know Skinny good. I says, I haven't seen him in years. He says, he said, well, you want to come and see a show? I said, it wouldn't be a bad idea, you know. He says, whenever we come here, make sure you get in touch with Skinny. I want him here. But I like your company. D. Mark told me. And real bullshit. I often wonder why that Dean Martin come and we never see Frank Sinatra. Dean Martin told me, we'll never be in Las Vegas the same week. Can't do it. The attraction be too big. You know what I mean? It is. It's true. He was one of the biggest drawing cards around. Him and Frank Sinatra. And then came Sammy Davis Jr. Then came the other Gagones. And
what about Frank? Anything about Frank? You met him? You met Frank?
He was tough. He was tough as nails, boy. Couldn't get near him. The closest I got to him was when I went with Carmen, Scotty Robb, and Charlie Zutter. Carmen's daughter, stepdaughter, his wife, worked in there. She had a big job. She was going with the head guy. And because we were in my house having coffee. Carmen said, "You want to go see him?" I said, "Yeah, I want to see him." He was in Caesar's Palace, Atlantic City. I said, "Yeah, I want to go see him." That's the closest I ever got to him. And he came, I'll say, from where he's at to here, to me, on the stage and the box we had. That's how close we were. But he was always, every time he was to sing, he used to look at us, my buddies, he always mentioned buddy. And I don't know, Charlie says, "What the hell is that buddy shit?" I don't know. And that night when I went, I'm the only guy with a necktie. Carmen made me do it. Carmen says, we're all going to be dressed up. They made me wear a necktie. I wanted to kill them all. I had to come off with the tie. And we had an enjoyable night.
So you never talked to Frank?
No.
No, I never met him.
That was the closest I ever got to him. Mm-hmm. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't lie. I can lie and say, you did, yeah.
Nah.
Like Pete
No,
Russo.
don't lie.
Yeah,
No, I won't. Never.
Can't meet them all, man. You can't meet them all.
No. Hey, you gotta miss somebody.
Yeah.
And I missed the best one. Frank Sinatra. Here's a guy, I idolized him. But Dean Martin was a hell of a performer.
He was good.
Oh,
He's
my
got
God.
a great voice.
Huh?
I like his voice better than
Oh,
Frank's.
they got that there going on every morning when I go in there. They got it right
St.
now.
Martin?
Yeah. I'll tell you the honest truth. I always tell people, that they ask me, says, how many grandchildren you got? I said, oh Christ, oh, but I got a gang of them. I said, I got a lot of them. And I says, without them, I said, I think I'd be dead. Just like that. I says, I got one granddaughter.
Your favorite.
I said, she's the best granddaughter I got. And I get a kick out of her laughing, stuff like that. And she gets a charge out of it, and I do. Now I'm into the great grandkids. I got one of them. If you ever see the way he goes after your old man, Tony, and he's talking to him like a human being, like as if he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
How about the way he is? It makes me laugh. I mean, that's what life's all about. Especially when you meet everybody at a recital. I mean, like at a picnic and all that stuff. I get a charge out of it. And my wife, she's the one that stopped me from giving the kids $5 a piece. She won't let me do it. I did that all my life. She stopped me. If I couldn't do it, I wouldn't do it, right? That's the way I feel. Now, one day, him, and Drew, we went to see Grandma. I forgot what hospital. I think in Princeton. Then I said, let's go have something to eat. So we went to the Olive Garden, right? Remember that day? We went to the Olive Garden. What is it? Spent $30, $40. I mean, things like that I like to do. What the hell? But I can't do it all the time. How often can you do it?
Can you name all your grandkids and great-grandkids?
Well, I'll try. We'll start off with Ralphie. And then Alicia. And then my grandkids now. Eric. Oh no, Tommy. Tommy's over. Eric. Drew. And the bugger, Tony. Right? He always comes here, he wants me to put him on a bed and use it. He thinks it's what do you call it?
Trampoline.
Yeah, trampoline. And I can't do it now because, of my condition. And who else? Oh, Matt. Oh, Madonna me. Holy Christ. Matt. I get a kick out of him, what he does. I think that kid's going to go places. I don't know what makes me say it. I mean it. Dr. Ritter. I used to get a lot of colds. I used to sneeze like a son of a gun. So Dr. Ritter says, you ever try, like when you go out? Well, I had my hair yet. And he says, try wearing a cap. You get less, sickness. And I've been wearing a cap since. I must have went through 1,000 of them. Yeah.
That's a cool story. I never knew that.
Huh?
I never knew that.
Good old
That's
Dr.
what he told me.
Dr. Ritter.
During the week, I had to take Grandma to Dr. Ritter. So I'm walking in the office, walking up them steps on Greenwood. It's when he first got the place on Greenwood Avenue. So I walked up the steps and I just about made it in there. But Dr. Ritter, he was just like me and you know. I used to talk to him, swear at him and everything. And he says, "What's the matter with you?" I said, "No, just take care of my wife. Don't worry about me." No, get on here. I walked in there, walking crippled. And I was supposed to go to a chiropractor. And he said, "Get on there." And when he went to school for doctors, he took up bones with Dr. Ritter. And he was going like this, you know, like this, with his feet, and he hit the nerve. "I got it." He went, "I got it." "What do you got, Doc?" Come back with a big needle. Squared up. "Now you're gonna go in there. He said, "It's only gonna sting a second." Bingo! I could have felt the thing going in. Up until today, I had never had today. I'm going back in 1953. I never said that before, and that's true. Ask Grandma. And it's not crazy. They called him a bed bug. To me, it was good. I never had I had to call the appointment off with the chiropractor.
Do you remember where you were when the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Positively. It was a Sunday morning on the corner of where I lived, 427, and we had a little place right on the corner of Whitaker and Elmer, and used to be a hangout, play cards Sunday morning, and it was about, well, I can't tell you the time, you know, in the morning, all of a sudden, somebody came in and said they bombed Pearl Harbor. You know, if you watch television, and whoever had television, and well, I had one, and Sunday morning we had a Victrola record. We used to listen to Enrico Caruso and all. You know, but a lot of people didn't have this stuff what I had. I always had the best. I don't care. Victrola with the Victor, with the dog, you know, and we used to play the records. And then I put the television on. The radio, I'm sorry. At home I had it, but in the club we had a radio, and we put the radio on. They bombed Pearl Harbor. It was quiet as can be. And I said, "Holy Christ Almighty!" And whoever figured war, I figured it might be something small. Nobody ever heard of Pearl Harbor. I never. And, then when I got home, I got the book. I opened it up. There was Pearl Harbor there. I said, "Holy Christ, that belongs to us." And how many people perished, you know, at that time. It was a sneak attack while the head of the Japan, they were in Washington. In a sneak attack, they bombed us. And it was a long war. It was all the way to 1945. Now, what you call them was sickly. President Roosevelt. If it wasn't for the war, I think if he didn't die, he would still be president today. That's the way he was going. That's when they made it. No more after 2 terms. They stopped. He would have kept going. And he was infantile paralysis. And I had the honor of meeting him when he was governor. He was governor, he was running for president. I was in Seagirt with the National Guards, with my brother Tommy and a lot of friends of mine. And I used to work around that way, Seagirt, in the summertime. And he used to do the cooking for, my brother Tommy used to do the cooking for, say, 70, 75 people every Sunday. And I was there that Sunday when they came in. I don't know if he came in to taste the macaroni or what. He was governor and running for president. And we shook hands with him. He came in there. I don't know if he did or not, but it was the thought that I met him, President of the United States. Then he died. Truman was vice president. And as I only hope that Christ, they were talking so much about the atomic bomb. Here it is from 41, 45, still war. You know, it was starting to go to the end, you know, but who knows? So we figured, soon as he died, I said to the guys in the club, in the joint we used to hang, I says, I only hope that Christ Truman throws the atomic bomb over there. Get it over with. And a couple of months later, bingo, here goes the bomb. It was the atomic bomb. They showed you pictures on the, in the movies. The way it comes up, holy right? Oh, I feel sorry. Them people are still suffering from it. And what we lost, if people didn't cry for the people that got killed, same way with the Trade Center building.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
Just
talk about.
imagine what was your thoughts today when you see them buildings coming down? Hey,
What were you thinking when you saw that on TV?
That's the next question.
I was in shock because I couldn't believe it. I said, look at this. There's a plane going right through. Another one coming through. Another one coming. What the hell's going on? And then minutes later, you see them. Well, they did something that we couldn't do in a million years. Level 2 building. It took them over 7 years to build. 20 minutes to come down. Straight as it can be. Well, that was it. You can see I can't walk too good, Alicia. My legs are like elephant legs. I can't even, especially when I first get up, it presses me. That's where, but Wednesday of this week, of this coming week, they're going to put a pacemaker in me. And I hope it's good. So it's going to be for the way the doctors tell me, the way the nurses tell me. He says, you'll be much better. Right now, I feel like $1 million. That's the way I feel. I don't have no aches or pains. The only thing is this water, if it gets out of there. That's all.
It will. It'll work.
If you want to see him, I'll show him.
What else, Sarah?
That's good.
You were gonna say something.
What was
Weren't you
I?
just gonna ask him something?
Your father will be home. He'll be here tomorrow morning, but he said he's coming. He called me up. He said he'll be here late Sunday night, but he'll be here Monday morning. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning. So I told you, your father, don't bring the papers, because Rafi will bring them, I hope. If not, we'll have to go buy them. That's all.
Great.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Good
That's
job.
good.
And one more thing, Alicia.
What?
Did you cook? Did you make out there
Yeah.
what I want to eat?
Already.
Okay. That's the end of the story.
The end.
Bravo. Good job, man.
Think about me.
Shortly after this interview, my grandfather successfully received a pacemaker and continued to live his life as he always did. His days were filled with hanging at the joint, visiting grandmom at the home, spending time with his family, watching and betting sports, and if I had to guess, he was probably still watching Walker, Texas Ranger, Jeopardy, and maybe even a little Wheel of Fortune.
Think about me.
On Friday, December 21st, 2001, a friend of my grandfather's went to his apartment to pick him up. After knocking and waiting a few minutes, he noticed the door was unlocked, so he went in. He found my grandfather sitting in his favorite chair. He had passed away peacefully in his sleep. When my father rushed over to the apartment, he noticed a betting slip on the table next to my grandfather. He took it and put it in his pocket. I remember that morning getting the call from my father. As old as my grandfather was, it was a shock to all of us because he was still so young at heart. On December 24th, 2001, we said goodbye to Brasil. The viewing and funeral were held at the Erico Funeral Home and St. Joachim's Church in Trenton, New Jersey. John Baldessari also opened up his restaurant, the Roman Hall, to celebrate my grandfather's life. You could feel the love, and the turnout was unbelievable. Tons of family and friends showed up on Christmas Eve to pay their respects to a man who lived a good, full life and was widely known and greatly respected.
To return to me.
That night, we got together like we always did for Christmas Eve at my parents' house. We ate our 7 fishes, especially the eel, and shared stories. We laughed a little and cried a little, but we all did it together as a family. Oh, and the one story that really stood out and said it all was the betting slip that my dad found. It turned out my grandfather won betting his final horse, and at the viewing, the guys from the joint handed my father an envelope with cash in it. And the horse that won? His name was Eternally Cool.
There are places I remember all these friends and lovers, there is no one that compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that were before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that were before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more.
Here you are, Kat. Come on, reach over and give Daddy a kiss. Can you? Give her a little better kiss than that, Bob.
Oh, okay.
Supposed to stay. That is a beauty. One more.
Look at the back of you.
I didn't get it yet, Mom. Wait a minute.
A present for me?
All right, yeah. Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad, for me. One more, Mom. One more kiss. Don't chase. Stay there. One more kiss, Caroline.
All right, wait a minute.
One more kiss for me, please.
Come here.
Come here, how the hell is I gonna come down? I can't.
Hey, big kiss. Big kiss. Big kiss. Come on.
In my